Hi, everybody. This is the second time I'm doing this because the first time the audio didn't work.
Hello, everybody.
And welcome to the Intertext 2024 Postmortem. My name is Mitchell Currie, and against my better judgment, I am now officially a YouTuber. Yeah. It is now 2025. And I wanted to create a quick video looking back at the project I worked on all last year. That project is Intertext. It's safe to assume that you don't know what I'm talking about because I didn't do any promotion of this project at all besides a couple posts on my main Instagram page.
If you didn't post it online, did it really happen?
Yeah, it definitely did. What am I saying? Okay, so Intertext started out as a challenge for myself. It was designed to be like a safe place, a personal gym, a personal jungle gym to try out new ideas. It was a framework so that I could allow myself to create music without the fear of perfectionism flooding in. Don't get me wrong. I am as chronically online as everybody else nowadays. So the project is available online. I did upload it to the Intertext Instagram account. But the reason I uploaded it is less to do with promotion, obviously, because you haven't heard of it, and more as a means to keep myself accountable and also see what part of the project resonated most with people. Little backstory. Back in December 31st, 2023, I sat at my desk absolutely pissed with myself. We've all been there. You know, it's a new year is in full swing. And you say, okay, this is the year that I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. You then proceed to go on a 14-day bender. You get really sick because your immune system can't keep up with your constant debauchery. And then before you know it, you're sitting in your bed deeply hungover, and you completely forget about all the plans that you had in mind for the year. It's sad. I've been there. Up to this point in 2023, I've been pretty successful in writing and recording every year and dropping something. But in 2023, I did not drop a damn thing. Now, this in itself is not a huge deal. I don't have a contract with anybody saying that I need to drop X amount every year. I also spent a lot of time in 2023 working on the Fizz project with my band, Sleepy Kicks, Dartmouth's favorite band. It's a project you should definitely check out. However, after sitting down and reminiscing on 2023, I also discovered that I had wrote about 1/10 of the amount of beats and songs that I usually record in a year, which was pretty devastating. Now, quality does not equal quantity. Or does it? But having very little material to show for at the end of the year, especially when you're trying to make a career in that discipline, is extremely disheartening. I wasn't as frustrated by the output, of course. I was more frustrated with the fact that I wasn't taking the time to participate in the craft. And I love the craft. I love the process. I love creating. So why wasn't I doing it? The reality for many artists today is that an additional full-time job is required just to survive. Lord knows we are getting the absolute snot beat out of us by the constant demand of the internet, and the value of music continues to depreciate. Unless you are an act the size of, I don't know, Sabrina Carpenter, it's pretty slim pickings out here. It doesn't matter if you're the sharpest tool in the shed or who you're in good graces with. You can please all you want, but don't expect a taste of financial return, as the career of a new artist is often short and sweet. So, like many musicians, I've spent the last 3 years working a full-time job, a pretty good one at that. My position was fairly secure. It had pretty great benefits. Those who know. And I was living comfortably. You know, not anywhere near being able to, afford a house or this career being sustainable for the long term. But I was making just enough to keep my head above the increasing cost for a basic standard of living. The problem was, as my responsibilities increased, I became more and more content with sacrificing my free time in order to work on additional work assignments. Reduced leisure time and an increased workload resulted in me not only being less focused on my artistic endeavors, but also creatively bankrupt. My day-to-day had become predictable, uneventful, and monotone. It's hard to pull inspiration from anything after sitting through 5 straight hours of Zoom calls.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Flash forward to 2024, and I decided that I needed to draw a line in the sand and take back my time to work on the craft I love so much. So along with redefining my hours, I constructed a challenge for myself and created the name Intertext, where all of my creative output would be housed. The Intertext Challenge. This is it. So the goal was to write 52 songs in a year.
Huh?
Which is batshit crazy, I know. Basically a song a week. My spin on it would be I need to have 26 completely new songs with 2 versions of each. So there would be an acoustic version of the song, which would be basically, pretty bare bones, skeletal, with nothing more than just my voice and an acoustic or an electric guitar. And then there'd be another version of the song with a produced version, which is a little bit more elaborate, a little bit more fleshed out, with additional instrumentation. I do have to shout out Alex Coley, who inspired me with his new song a week challenge back in 2022. Hearing the quality of the songs that came from his project gave me hope that I would be able to do something similar using the same format, even though I slightly altered it. If you haven't had the chance to check out Alex's project, The Arc, just go listen to it. You'll thank me later. I'll link that in the description. Here we are, a year later in 2025, and I have the results. Did I achieve my goal? No. Not exactly. But by the end of the year, I did end up with 40 demos with an acoustic version and a produced version of each. So, I'm a failure, right? Yeah, I didn't hit all 52. So what happened? Well, there were multiple weeks in 2024 where I was either bedridden with an illness, traveling across the country for work, or I was prioritizing another life event that just needed more of my attention at the time. Life happens. Things will always get in the way. And I knew that going into this challenge. I also knew going into the challenge that 52 straight weeks of writing, recording, video editing, producing, uploading was a very, very tall order. But I wanted to aim high. And if I didn't get all 52 weeks finished, oops. At least I tried. Am I happy with the results that I have? 40 demos? Yeah. Yeah. The GoPro above me is beeping at me. I'll get through this. I want to emphasize that I didn't have a problem with my output back in 2023, but with my process. We live in a world that is obsessed with glamorizing productivity, and draining yourself for a pseudo check mark is not only unhealthy, but mechanical and inhuman.
My day is 6 a.m. to noon, and I'm not crazy.
I heard Feist say in an interview that we are human beings, not human doings, and that shit hit me like a train. So why do this challenge? Why stress myself out for an entire year, miss out on social events, and lose a lot of sleep in the process? Well, because I can, and because it wills me to. I am now 29. For better or for worse, real life is now. Tomorrow morning I could wake up, head to work, and get smoked head on by an 18-wheeler because the driver dozed off while trying to finish their 5th consecutive overtime shift in order to pay rent. It would suck, but it's possible. I'm incredibly privileged to have this fully functioning flesh suit, a roof over my head, and the freedom to make whatever I want with the time that I have. This doesn't mean I need to go, balls to the walls 24/7, David Goggins style.
Who's gonna carry the boats and the logs?
Enjoying myself with any joy, but with great power comes great responsibility. To me, these innate privileges that I possess imply that I have the responsibility to pursue a fulfilling life and find ways to lift others in my community. I am responsible for acting on opportunities when they arise because not everyone has the same access to opportunities as I do. Which leads me to my second point. Whether it be the arrangement of my genetic makeup, the environment of my upbringing, or a gift from the cosmic gumbo we inhabit, something drives me to create and share. After years of neglecting my talents, I'm finally starting to appreciate them for what they are and not be embarrassed to show them off. Folks in the psychotherapeutic practice call this growth. But if you call me or this video corny, I am too fragile. I'll still quit everything. It's taken me almost 10 years to allow myself to say that I'm a musician without downplaying it. Don't get me wrong, imposter syndrome is still very, very real. But this past year has kind of served as a proving grounds for myself, in that no casual or sane person would try to make 52 demos in a year unless they were, musically inclined, albeit amateur. I love making shit and sharing shit because it gives me purpose, and the purpose doesn't need to have an end goal. I made something and I think that it's cool. Love Finn. Dope. Cool. Great. Now, is every song in the Intertext format a masterpiece? No. Are some of them rougher than others? Absolutely. But I chose to do so many because hopefully, eventually, quality does turn to quantity. Wait, quantity does turn to quality. Like the story of 1,000 pots, I chose to spend more time participating in the art of the craft, starting, building, and beginning again, rather than focusing or obsessing over one song and being overwhelmed by perfectionism. By sticking to a strict schedule, I didn't give myself a second to think about what others might say or what they might think of a certain song. I was too focused on getting the current project done and getting that shit out of my face. And at the end of all this, I think, I've got some pretty good quality songs in those 40 demos. And I'm happy with that. The only way I was able to come even close to finishing this project was because of the help of my good friend, Colleen Shaw. I gave Colleen the burden of mixing every single produced track that I made so that I would have sufficient time to finish the remainder of the project. Even though these were just demos and I only gave her a week to finish every single one, she was able to bring them to life in a way that I never could. Every mix elevated the ideas that I brought forward, and I highly recommend her if you need your next project mixed. I also need to thank Allie, aka Allie Angel Girl, for creating the collages for each of the project covers. I gave her so little amount of material to work with, so the fact that each cover is so elaborate and cohesive is a testament to her skill and creativity. And lastly, I want to thank my brother Matthew, who helped me produce the majority of the songs on this project. Many of the songs, especially the drum tracks, have his DNA built into them. He has also helped me with recording the video for many of the acoustic tracks, especially in the studio. So I owe him a huge Panzerotti pizza from Randy's. Also, go follow his new band, Poker Ramon, on Instagram, would you? Go see them live too, they're dope. Now that the creation period is over, I can begin phase 2, which is tweaking and refining the songs that I think have the most potential, which is why I need your help. In my bio
and the video description,
there's a link to a Google form where you can vote for the top
3
songs from the Intertext album. I already have my favorites picked out, but it's always good to have a second opinion outside of my gigantic noggin. What's that? You haven't heard the songs yet? Well, lucky for you, as of right now, the entire Intertext album is live, all produced versions, and they're available on all streaming platforms now.
and as a full album stream on YouTube.
The link for that will be in my bio as well. Thanks to everyone who took the time to listen to these silly ass songs. This project consumed me in 2024, and I do feel accomplished and proud of myself for sticking to it. Yeah. Now that it's over, I can attend to all of the things and people that I've neglected over the year, including my sanity. This isn't the end either. No. I've got more projects inside and outside of the Intertext universe scheduled for release in 2025, including a live show, an artist series thing, and a new Sleepy Kicks album. So stay tuned for all of that. And of course, I wouldn't be a good YouTuber if I didn't tell you to like the video and go subscribe and ring bells. Also, go follow Intertext and Sleepy Kicks on Instagram so you can stay tuned for everything. Scratch that. The best way for you to support me and the channel is to go follow Alex Heighton on LinkedIn. Yeah. And remember, it may not be perfect, but it's good enough for now. Peace and love.
Is it on?